0808. Welcome back to What's Cooking, the weekend edition. Michael Horn, Paul Stern, CRN Digital Talk Radio, live from Hollywood. Roger Berkowitz is here, the president and CEO of Legal Seafoods. Welcome, Roger.
Hey, what are you saying, Michael? Paul, how are you?
Good.
Good to have you with us.
I got one question. Am I talking to Lakers fans?
Yeah, you better believe it. So
this might be a short interview.
Might be.
We're talking seafood today?
Pretty good series, but we're talking seafood, and we need you, Roger Berkowitz, president and CEO of Legal Seafoods, to kind of set us straight on this Gulf situation, because there's a lot of concern. Should we be eating seafood or not? What's going on?
Oh yeah, it's right now it's really impacting one area in the Gulf, and certainly it's doing a devastating job in that area. The complete ecosystem for much of that area is shot. The good news is, if there is good news, much of the product that comes out of there does not really supply the rest of the country. There is some shrimp out of there. There are oysters out of there, and there's some crabs out of there. But it's not a big part of the supply chain. The bigger issue right now is with the hurricane season starting. If that spill somehow gets into the Gulf Stream and starts to migrate around Florida, and if it should ever happen to proceed up the eastern seaboard, that's when it gets really dangerous. And that, no one can really predict. I mean, there are some simulations out there that might happen. If we're lucky and it's not a horrendous hurricane season, then it's going to sort of be contained to that area. The product, the ecosystem will probably take about 10 years right now. Those are the estimates to
10 years
get back to normal. About 10 years, yeah.
Wow. Now getting seafood now, should we be asking in restaurants or at stores where the seafood?
No, you really don't, because those areas have been shut down. None of that product is ever going to get into the supply chain.
Gotcha. So is it going to stay in that area? The fish are not going to migrate around or anything like that?
No. And you know what? Because if the fish were in that area, they're dead.
Oh, I got you.
And they'd be oily. They just couldn't be sold.
Gotcha.
So no one has to worry about that.
That's good news. That's good news. If there's any good news, that's a sliver of good news.
Yes. Now the only one of the issues though is sort of a domino effect, because if you take that bit of the supply chain out, it's going to put pressure on other supplies that are completely healthy. So what that means is that people might see price creep. They're starting to see some price creep now on shrimp. Even though shrimp is farmed throughout the world, if you take out some of the supply that people typically got from the Gulf, they're now going to start to put pressure on the other areas. And so right now, as an example, if you were to go out, if a restaurant was to go out and to buy some shrimp, they might find a 25% increase today that might translate into the plate. Now the new harvest is coming out. Because most of the product worldwide is farmed. The new product is set to be harvested at the end of June, beginning of July, and so everyone's sort of holding their breath, and a lot of people like ourselves are absorbing the price and waiting to see what happens when the new pricing comes out. If it goes up, then that will translate into a bit higher prices on the plate. If it doesn't, then everything is fine.
Roger, what do you think about some of the sustainable seafood that comes out of areas like Australia?
The barramundi is an example. Is some great product, and barramundi actually has, there's some barramundi farms in different parts of the country. There's one actually in Massachusetts, and that's producing some very good product. So, one of the things that, whenever there's a crisis, people put their heads together and say, okay, now's the time to get into more farming. One of the big areas for farm shrimp has been South America. Now, with this crisis in the Gulf, I would not be surprised to see, Ecuador get back into the farm shrimp business in a much larger way than they are now.
Wow. So you're putting our mind at ease a little bit now, but the prices may go up a little bit. There may be a little strain on other areas of the world for seafood production.
And if people keep their fingers crossed that it doesn't migrate up the East Coast, we'll be in pretty good shape.
Yeah, I got my fingers crossed there. What's fresh now? What should we be looking for at restaurants this weekend and the next few weeks?
Well, if you're talking from the New England area, certainly lobsters are in some pretty good abundance. Offering some decent values out there. Swordfish is very good. Gray sole is good. Haddock is a superb fish, and is sort of overtaken in popularity by cod. But haddock, if you can get your hands on some great northeast haddock, that's very good. Gray sole has always been good, and the supply of scallops are getting a little bit tighter right now.
Now your place, Legal Seafoods, and then we're talking with Roger Berkowitz, President and CEO of Legal Seafoods. Where's your headquarters? Where are you located?
We're headquartered right in Boston, in South Boston.
Yeah. Do they have any basketball teams or anything back there?
Actually,
Just wondered.
And I will say, the other night we did have Phil Jackson in. And
really?
And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, yes.
Oh,
Did you try to poison them? Did you try to give them some tainted seafood?
Absolutely not. I have the utmost respect for those guys.
You're the best, Roger. Give us the website. We love you, by the way, for coming on the show.
Hey, it takes somebody to give the Celtics a run for their money.
Yeah.
LegalSeafoods.com.
LegalSeafoods.com, and you got locations around the country, right?
Yes, and 1-800-EAT-FISH if you need more information.
1-800-EAT-FISH or LegalSeafoods.com. Roger Berkowitz, you have a great weekend. Thanks for being with us.
Mike, Paul, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, there he goes over there, and he was quite respectable as a Celtic fan here. Talking to us
I'd like to
California.
think that you would be the same towards the Celtic coach and former great players.
My restaurant's closed.
There they go, out of business.
Straight ahead, we continue with the movie report.
86.